Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It is 4:31. Today is May the 1st, and this is our fourth meeting, our fourth S.H.A.C meeting for the year. And it will also be our last meeting for the school year. For the record, there is going to be a correction on the agenda. We do have presenters today from the Coastal Bend Pregnancy Center?
No,
Or Wellness Center. So that's
Foundation.
Wellness Foundation. So we're going to, for the record, we want to go ahead and make those corrections. Well, I'm reading like the agenda here. And so I will let Denise introduce our presenters. So that is action item 1. There is a correction. We do have presenters today.
And they have a different curriculum.
And a different curriculum.
Yes. So we are happy to have the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation. We have Joshua and Jacqueline today presenting.
And I promise if I have to walk out, I'll not read that.
Anything that you said.
No worries.
At some point, if I walk out, don't worry about me.
It's happened multiple
Yes, we
times
do.
before.
Where do I put this? USB?
Christy will have to log in.
While Denise is getting them ready, Kenna and I kind of like are, not kinda, we are taking over S.H.A.C. And so we thought this meeting would be like where we kind of just revisit discussions from past discussions. Today, in addition to having our presenters, there's an assessment that we're going to do individually. And this assessment is basically to, let us know what direction we need to move in for next school year. Like, what are some areas that maybe we need to work on? What are some areas that, we're doing a pretty good job? But individually, I would like for each of us to take this assessment so we know where to go forward for next school year.
Oh, you want us to do that now or wait till I
Let's
put it
wait
in?
till they're done. And then additionally, we also wanted to, like next year, start off with a clean slate and have some, elect new members to the S.H.A.C committee. How many, have y'all served like your 2-year term already for some of you that are in here? And you have
I think officially this is our first year. First school year.
Yeah.
So Ken and I are kind of looking at the bylaw and just kind of looking at what the requirements, what we need to do. I don't even know if we have like a S.H.A.C, like our bylaws for our district. Like, what is our vision? What is our mission? Do y'all know?
I would check the slide deck.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
have different slide decks, and you still have access to those
Okay.
things.
And did y'all work on that together as a group on those beliefs and?
They were here when we got here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe it might be time to revisit, since we do have like our strategic plan that it's new to the district, or it's not new, but it's something that we did when Van Matry came on board. So maybe it's time to
Maybe new
revisit
mission
some of
and
those
vision.
things and see what we need to do just moving forward. Okay? But thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us. Alrighty, well, how are y'all doing? Good. Yeah, it's Thursday. Are y'all ready for Friday? Yeah, I'm ready for Friday.
Ready for Saturday.
For sure. So we're youth programs. We are with the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation. It's that big, blue, beautiful building over there off of Holly. We service 8 different counties, although the actual agency services, I think it's 11 different counties. So we are everywhere during the summer. We're at like 6 or 8 different camps, depending if I get 2 more solidified. So that's why I asked if you had any summer stuff that you're doing. But if you have anything at all that you are doing, we'll talk about how we can kind of collab. This is our beautiful team. We are currently housed outside of the First United Methodist Church. It's a mouthful. It's that big building off of Shoreline, and you see like the Surfing Jesus. That's us over there. We're in the back. It's cheaper rent, so we went ahead and got there. So we're going to be talking about what we do, how we collab, how we can get into TM here. We have had some presents, but we're trying to get more presents with y'all.
So so I can go ahead and get us started. Within youth programs, there are two different grants. One of them is Project Turnaround, which Jackie is the coordinator for, and the other one is going to be Project Hope. I'm going to be handing out a little insert that kind of depicts everything that Project Hope offers. With youth programs, Project Turnaround is more so the curriculum side. So I heard y'all discussing different types of curriculum, some that are being offered through CIS and other outside sources. Through me, specifically Project Hope, I'm able to come in and do parent meetings. I know CIS is required to do those every month, so if I offer a resource to where you don't have to do anything, and I come in and teach from our Strengthening Families curriculum, kind of teaching our parents life skills necessary to instill great attributes in their kids and in themselves. I approach this work through a way of improving individuals versus like improving families, if that makes sense, because we can only help our little ones if we're also helping ourselves. So with Project Hope, I service New Oasis, Jim Wells, Claybrook, and San Pat. Nowhere near as much as Jackie, but it is a lot of work because this team is just me. The way I like to describe Project Hope is we are a group of people who care about the community and want to see some form of sustainable change. So I run a coalition, basically a group of a whole bunch of different community vendors that you can think of, community partners for a better term. So we have like Driscoll Health Plan, MHP Salute, just a bunch of different community resources that would be at y'all's disposal as well, because I have them in my little pocket. Next slide, please. So this was kind of just recapping everything that I said. I can come out during Red Ribbon Week tabling. We can do teen talks during lunch with the kids. That has been a really big hit with my middle school and high school students because lunchtime is a really busy time for them, and so it's the time that they can unwind and relax throughout their busy day. And while we're talking, I'm listening to what's going on in their life, and of course I can report back to y'all if that is needed. But I like to think of it as like a little support group. Of course, parent meetings, parent night events, and also all these different types of presentations. So if you need tobacco or vaping prevention presentations, I have a really great one called Hidden in Plain Sight, which I offer specifically to adults because it depicts how our youth can be hiding drug paraphernalia in everyday objects, because that is a big problem.
Taco.
Literally. I should have brought it for y'all. That would have been great. One of them is literally a key fob. So like you would think like to start your car, it's actually a scale. So students could use it to weigh out products. So it's a really great program that we can offer to y'all.
Is that for adults, you said?
Yes, adults. So it's really popular doing like y'all's professional development days. So specifically for your teachers and staff. I always give the disclaimer that it's not trying to fearmonger or police the kids, because that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to instill fear in y'all to not trust your kids. Without trust, y'all have nothing. So it's more so just informational things to look out for. And then a big part of Project Hope is environmental change projects. So if we go to the next slide, I have some pictures. This is me. Project Hope used to be a team of 2, but Rochelle is no longer under my grant. Very sad. But like I said, environmental change projects, one of my favorite things that we have done is my partner at Synacor. We got these little cigarette butlers installed to try to give their people in recovery a way to dispose of cigarettes properly, because cigarettes are the #1 littered item in America. So we're all about community, all about the environment. So we like to do big back to school bashes as well. This bottom pic is us at the JK Northway for our 3rd annual Claybrook County Bash. I just finalized my date for the 4th annual one, which I'm really excited about. So if we do form this partnership, that is something that could be built further down the line. Us pouring back into you as y'all pour into us.
And the middle picture, is that a presentation of a healthy lung and a ugly lung? I really want that to our lunches so they can see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, ugly, but unhealthy lung, yes. I love bringing this out because it grabs the attention of the kids, and it really allows them to see how smoking or vaping really impacts their body. And it doesn't only impact your lungs, it impacts every single organ in your body, so it's a really, really cool exhibition that y'all could have. And yeah, that's Project Hope.
And recently, we just finished the park cleanup, which
Yeah.
is over how many parks?
So, first Saturday in April, we cleaned up 7 parks in the Coastal Bend. One of our biggest missions in Project Hope is to get the City of Corpus Christi's smoking prohibition ordinance amended to include city-owned parks. Because cigarettes are the #1 item in America, it's very environmentally damaging. So this has been a continuous effort that I built upon the previous coordinator. Always love giving credit to him because he was amazing. But yeah, we cleaned up 7 parks, collected over 4,000 cigarette butts. So grateful for all of my 14 organizations who partnered with me, but it was insane.
And these could be students who can volunteer, who need like community hours
Yeah.
or, okay.
Yeah. I think that's the great thing about Project Hope in general. It's a coalition, yes, but it more so feels like a relationship, because I'm pouring into people who are pouring into me, and so it feels very, very good. And I love the work that we do, and I'm really excited at the potential of a partnership with y'all. So, yeah. And then now we'll go on to Jackie. Wait, any questions about Project Hope before she goes?
The coalition, do y'all meet like monthly or what does that look like?
Yeah, we meet every last Wednesday of the month, except every 3rd month of our quarter. That one is a lunch meeting, so we'll have lunch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely something the kids would love.
So this is Project Turnaround. This is PD, stands for Prevention Education to Every Youth, or PD for short. If you see, I don't know if you can see it, but there might be like a little USB. As we exit, you'll see PD's like on everything. My name is Jacqueline Gutierrez. I am the coordinator for Project Turnaround. I've been here for 3 years. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I have going on outside of this. So I've got like my cats. I love them. I go by Miss Chicken, but they are also tomato, garlic, and noodles. So there's a theme. And part of the reason why I introduce myself like that is because I also go into schools and we try to make light of heavy topics. So what we do is we go inside of the schools. We are in 8 different counties, like I said. Of course, Nueces is going to be one of them. And we talk about life. So it's a life skills class. It's in order to tell them, kind of coach them, mentor them in a way, depending on what tier that they are in. We'll talk about a little bit more of the tiers here in a little bit. But it is a prevention skill. We do have universal, selected, and indicated. So you will see on your one-pager, it's kind of hard to tell like front and back. But the one that looks very wordy, that's the one that we're going to look at first. That one is going to have some of the information here for you at a glance. So in the middle, you'll see the 3 bullet points. Those are going to be your tiers. The universal, Joshua, can you change it to the next one? Thank you. The universal is going to be for everybody. It's going to be your general population, kids who maybe don't have any indicators. This is going to be for our positive action unit. So this is going to be every time that we come out to your school for the 6 units, we'll be coming out. That's 1 time a week. Let's say you have testing or you have intercession coming up or whatever the case may be. We can come in and we can come in like once or twice a week. We just need a day of comprehension. That's the only thing. And we talk about self-concept, who they are, they're individual, everybody's unique. We talk about managing yourself, managing disappointment, being able to be honest with yourself and others, especially with your mental health. If you need help, you can ask for help. That's something I wish I had learned at a really young age, but it's okay, we're here now. And so that's something that we do. Again, this is our general population. What that might look like is, let's say this is a classroom. We come in, we're like a sub, and the teacher might be catching up on paperwork, whatever it is that they need to do, okay? We're taking minutes, but they can use the minutes however they need to. While we're there, we're teaching them a curriculum. It's provided by the state, funded by the state. You don't have to worry about any cost. All you need is a yes, the MOU signed, and then you get a date from us. I already have some dates planned out in our Q1. I understand that y'all have summer available, so you're more than welcome to get that scheduled out in any of the, yes.
When you say curriculum by the state, are you talking about like HHSC?
Yes, HHSC, and then also TEA approved, and then it has all those, was it like blue ribbon, blue something, and blue bonnet as well, I believe. But these are some things that we'll be going over for the students. Joshua? And then this is for who it is for. So the age range is going to be from kinder to 12th grade. I believe there is a typo on our one pager. It says first grade. We got approved to do kinder, so that's awesome. So from kinder through 8, it's going to be different. We are going to have each grade kind of individualized based on their comprehension level, based off of their reading skill, their just what they're able to kind of grasp on. 9 through 12, it's going to be all one because we understand that sometimes depending on where they are, dual credit, maybe they have a class period off, we might have like a couple of sophomores, juniors. So it's not going to be individualized, but it is going to be the same information for a general population for them. This one reduces alcohol abuse. We now, and I should change it, we now say misuse because you can either use it or you can misuse it. Big on bullying prevention, cyberbullying as well. If you have something where you have like a code, a QR code, a number that you want us to throw into that lesson that you have that we can provide for cyberbullying or bullying, we're more than happy to do that. It's about 7 sessions. You saw on the first page, it's 6 units. We add one in so that way we can get our intro day. We are state funded. We do have to report to somebody, so we do need demos. They want to see who we're seeing, proof that we're seeing them. So we do have folders that we make. Nobody sees the folders except for the specialist. I see the numbers. I don't see who is in there, and then our director as well. And then this is going to be a class size up to 30 students. We can get special permissions if we have bigger classes, like we've gone to Driscoll, and they've had like 36 post-COVID while people were kind of, in an influx getting back into the general population. So that's something that we can do, although it hasn't really been necessary afterwards. Thank you, Joshua. So this is some materials that we have provided. This is practicing healthy friendships with our Valentine's Day art. It just kind of happened around that area, so it worked out for us. This is at, I want to say it's at Banquete, and they are practicing what they want to hear, how they want to give love, and love is not just romantic, it can also be platonic, so we talk about that. And yes, you're good to go, Josh. So this is going to be like our tier 2. So that's going to be the second bullet that we have. This is going to be for the kids who are either in rural communities, that they have something going on at home. Maybe they're withdrawing from school for a little bit. There's some indicators. It could even be that they're closer to testing season, or they're closer to the end of school, or that they're in a transition time in their life. So that might be like 5th going into 6th grade, 8th grade going into high school going into life, whatever that looks like for them. So this is going to be a good curriculum for them. Every time that, it is an acronym, so every time that we come out, we go over the same lessons that you see here. Body, we talk about breathing. Of course, I'm not teaching them how to breathe, but just how to breathe through stress. We talk about emotions, how to manage them, their attention to how they perceive themselves and how they perceive others. Tenderness to themselves, you can't pour from an empty cup, so we teach them how to fill up their own cup. And then we also talk about healthy habits and empowerment. Sometimes, depending on how much time we have, we combine these two. So you might see us end at H, so it turns from breath and breathe, but we go with it. And so this is a really this is the curriculum that I teach heavily. It's awesome. It's mindful. I've used some of this for myself. We start or we end, depending, with a mindful meditation, which is awesome. We have our littles doing it, and that is crazy to see little 2nd graders, 3rd graders not standing, but sitting still for a little while. And then it's really cute. I love it. Thank you, Joshua. So this is the age range. We do start from 5th grade. We have been approved to do special grades too. We just have to talk that out with our developer, and then we're all good. So if you're like, I really want this for my 3rd graders, let us know. We'll get it approved, and we'll be here for you. This one reduces emotional distress. So this is, again, for kids who maybe have a little bit of a hectic at-home life. Now, is that mandatory for them to take it? No. Like right now, it's the end of the school year. We're doing this in West Oso. Sorry, I was looking at you, Bart. At West Oso. So it's not just for the kids who are in need, but it is just for any kid that has a need. Duration is 8 lessons. Again, it's going to be for an addition, right? So if we come in that first week, we're doing a little icebreaker. We're talking about who they are, who we are. I'm Miss Chicken. I'm not going to come in and just tell them, hey, don't do drugs. Why are we doing this? Then we have this take-home packet. The parents can opt out if they would like. We assume yes. If no, then we need proof. And then we also have a photo release too. So I understand that you probably have one with the district, but we'll have one just in case. And that kind of will let the teacher know, oh, you don't even have to get that photo release. We already have one, whether it's for them or without them. And the schools that we've been going to have been really adamant about that. This one is a little bit interesting. You can go from 12 to 30 students, and let's say, the 12 students, that would be like a lunch session. That might be a session where maybe they have enrichment, and we sit with that class one-on-one. At Caffey Middle School, they have a leading ladies, and I forgot what the gentleman's one was, but they have two separate groups, and we go in during lunchtime and we talk to them about life, essentially. And so it's a smaller, more intimate setting rather than having our big 30 class. Either one works. I would love to see the 30 because the more the merrier. But if you want to have it if you want to have it for students who maybe need a little bit more one-on-one, like a mentorship, that's okay. So this is Anaya. I love her. She's no longer with us. She's still alive, but but she's just moved on to a different field. So she had a mindful moment. They had all talked about it. They kind of conspired and said, hey, you know what? We're talking about tenderness. We're talking about how to be tender and pay attention to detail. So they all planned out matching outfits. It also kind of worked out with their school, so it was kind of nice to get a friendly reminder. And I just put on the calendar for a night. But so that was really cute to see. They were building a bond, and that's what I really like to see as well. Although she's not at Project Turnaround anymore, she's always in our hearts. And she's with the students too, because they did ask about her this year. So that was kind of bittersweet. I did like that. So this is YPI. This is going to be the last bullet in that middle section. This is going to be for our indicated youth. This is for youth who do have more at-risk labels. You will see that there are ages from 4 to 12 and 10 to 17. We have that overlap because if we go in and we see that the students are like, maybe not grasping, or they're like, okay, well, this is like cake. Let's, where's the challenge? Then we can kind of age up or age down just depending. I will say that the Kids Connect, which is for the littles, or we say littles, right, the younger, that one is a little bit more fun in the activities that they do. So sometimes we pull from the activities, but we still talk about the discussions in here. The discussions are going to be based over kind of similar things, right? Instead of the self-concept, it's talking about getting to know you and to celebrate you. We talk about managing anger and feelings. We talk about feelings because you have feelings first, and then you have that secondary. You have that anger afterwards. So you're not just angry, there's something at the bottom, and we talk about feelings first. We have dreams and goal settings. So that might look like an activity. This is really activity heavy. This one is really activity heavy. So we might look like vision boards with collages from Half Price Books. They've been giving us magazines for the past 2 years. So we just call them up, hey, we need some more magazines. And we're able to facilitate an activity with them. We also talk about negative peer pressure, what that might look like, how we can also implement positive peer pressure, reintroduce positive peer pressure. And then we talk about the commitment. So yes, we're in this classroom, we're going to be together, but it goes beyond that, right? After you leave the door, I can't hold your hand, but you do need to kind of implement some of these things at home or in real life. Thank you. So these are the I affirmations. Each lesson that we come out, there's going to be an associated I affirmation with them. So we have I can, I have, I will, I believe, I am. These are examples. However, these are also the ones that we use for the classroom. So we might say, like, I'm able to have meaningful relationships with those who support my dreams on the dream lesson, and so on and so forth. So this one is going to be from kinder going all the way to high school. This one, again, is more indicated. So this is going to be for the kids who have gone to DAEP, have come back. Maybe you feel like they might be on their way to go. Maybe they've been caught with something on school. They've been targeted for bullying, the frequent flyers of your office. Whatever kid is coming to your mind, that's them. That's the ones that we want right now. It's emotional distress, but it's also things that we're talking about, like problem behaviors. So we try to give them some more resiliency and kind of let them manage themselves. So this is a little bit different. Rather than us coming in with a script and kind of reading off of it, this one is guided discussion. The students kind of come up with the bulk of it, and we just lead it. Of course, you know, if we feel like I don't know how we feel about that. We are mandatory reporters just like everybody in this room. And so don't feel like we won't report. We also refer out. So we are not licensed counselors. We are certified prevention specialists, which is CPS for short, which is silly, but it is something that we are. So because we're not licensed in counseling, we will refer out. We refer out whether that is to a counseling that you prefer or to the council of, alcohol and drug abuse, so COADA. So we'll refer to them. This class does vary, or it just has a different size. It's going to be 12 student max. So we want it to be a little bit more intimate. We want it to be in that mentor, that more one-on-one setting. They feel more comfortable. We have no issue. Usually we work with our CIS or with our counselor. In West Oso, the counselor is using us for their contact hour, which is no issue. We give them a couple minutes of our time. They're able to utilize us in more ways than one. So if that's something that we could do here for you, we would love to do that, of course. All of our curriculum that we have starting at 5th grade and up is going to have surveys, so it is going to be evidence-based. We have our numbers towards the end, or we have our numbers completed towards the end of our sessions. So if that's something you can get your hands on, by all means, just shoot me an email. We'll get that for you, so that way you can see their comprehension. Sometimes, depending on where we are, especially like during the holiday season, you'll see that their comprehension goes down. It's not that they're not passing. We accumulatively also have to take in their attendance. So sometimes that's the reason why, but it'll show like, okay, they passed, but their attendance wasn't that great.
And Jackie, I'm going to interject a minute. I'm Barton Bailey. I'm the Youth Programs Director. And those surveys are not about their demographics. Those surveys are really about their comprehension of the things we talked about.
Yes, and we talk through every single one of them. And so they probably get a little bit tired of us, but they're fine. Thank you. And then this is just a little cute moment. So this is at Banquete as well. This is our Learning to Breathe. Her name is Reina. And then this is our YPI specialist, Corey. That is the curriculum-based support group, or CPSG for short. So they were both there. Well, we were all there that day. We were all there, but because somebody had to take the picture, right? And so they had a little kitten there. And so although they are the bulldogs, they always have cats on site, and we just thought it was kind of funny. So it was a nice little way to, sometimes we go over some hard topics, and it's important to, pour those out of your cup if you need it. And so it was nice to see the kittens as we were leaving. So here's some takeaways. It is HHSC funded, it's TA approved, free of charge, modified depending on grade level. We are up for healthy life skills targeting indicated, all of your tiers 1, 2, and 3. It is decreasing substance use and experimentation, increase awareness of behaviors, and also kind of targeting that impulsivity versus having self-control. Now that's not all that we do, but we do a lot, and I promise this will be the last of it, and then we can have questions. So we do positive alternatives. That's going to be something that we do, whether that is like professional development days. We come out and we do something for you, whether that's something for your youth. We have our Go Local Farmers Market. So downtown in Corpus Christi, we are always there every Wednesday or every other Wednesday, depending on how heavy our curriculum schedule is. We're there for Red Ribbon Week. I know that we've had stuff scheduled out for you. We do game days and game nights. Like in Fremont, we have a lot of game days where we are sponsoring, but we're just there. We're having like a walk with them, or we're having games with them, which is really fun. And then we are also going to be having a back to school bash in Fremont. So if you have any friends and family a little bit out, let them know. Here's some other positive alternatives. So we had some nameplate activities. I'm great with faces, not names, so I have to get a nameplate. And by default, because I'm Miss Chicken, everybody's a chicken in the classroom, so I kind of get away with not knowing the name. But we also have Proclamation of Red Ribbon Week. That's something that we've also done this past year, so I believe this was from 2 years ago. And then this is that farmers market. Every third Wednesday of the month, we are going to be having our free little library. Again, shout out to Half Price Books. They give us all of the books and magazines that we use throughout the year. And then these are some positive alternative activities as well. Here, New Year's goals at La Armada. We had our collages that we had. We also had some stickers, and one of the kids had a little bingo card because that was like a TikTok thing. So we had done that. This is the April 1st. This is actually not from this year. This is from last year, where we picked up, I think it was like 3,400, and now it was
42.
There we go. And then this is our foster care. If you see chickens, that was me. The foster care there. So we don't just do schools. We do a whole lot of other things. We go into religious areas as well. So that's something that we are always looking to promote. And if you need any chaperones, think about us too. We are already background checked through our own company. If you need us to do that again, we have a good relationship with S.H.A.C. We're going to be at their camp this summer where we get background checked one more time. So if you need extra hands, we know what it's like to have a lot of kids in one area. Please use us. We're free of charge. Just if it's a day of, give us like 30 minutes though. And then this is our resource page. Do one more. There might be one more.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, just kidding. I like. This is how you can get to all of our social media. We are active on TikTok. You'll see PD in action. You can follow us. You can see what events we have on Facebook. But that was a lot of talking. Do you have any questions or concerns or brainstorming? I love brainstorming.
So when we do the schedule, the schedule-wise, you said about 30 kids per class.
Mhm.
Do you do multiple classes?
Yes.
Yes. So how many?
You'll use us like a sub. So we'll
Okay,
come
we'll be there
in.
for the day, and we
Yes.
schedule kids in.
Yes. So
Do they-
we'll see like all of your science classes on one day, and we'll go into
Separate rooms.
separate rooms,
Cool.
and depending on what grant you're wanting, so whether that's the tier 1, 2, or 3, we can come in and there'll be 2 different teachers. So maybe we'll see all of 6th and 7th, and then we'll catch 8th grade, on the next round.
Okay. Sounds great.
Can you do multiple grants? Like you were talking about like the different
Oh,
grants.
yeah.
You can.
That's what we're doing at Westchester right now. We've done that in Odom and Premiont.
We'd love
so-
to do that.
Yeah, that's the best way. And it's easier to, not that it's easier, it's ideal to start in elementary so that way we grow with them.
Right.
But that's not saying that, we're not going to teach your middle schools or your high schoolers right now.
Yeah. Or like what the need, like,
Yeah.
middle school, the baby, just kind of.
Exactly.
We're actually starting in 5th grade, so
Yes, no, so we do the
early intervention.
There is at Juvenile Justice Center, we're there every 4th Thursday of the month, very specific. Every 4th Thursday of the month, we are there to do a diversion program. So if they're caught with a vape there in Nueces County, we will see the students, or the youth, usually they're students, and they do a presentation with us about vaping, the consequences, this, that, and the other, and they get their hour. So that's something that, not to look forward to, but just know that if you have a student, more than likely they are getting Project Turnaround in the event that that is something that is to their specific case. Another thing that we do is we talked about volunteer hours. We have a volunteer sheet. I send it out to Janice Shu, but I know not everybody checks your email because I know I don't always. I'm super guilty of that. But I can send that out to you because it's super easy. All you have to do is get what organization that they're wanting, what acronym it's from, right? It doesn't have to be just for school though. Like let's say they need community hours because they got into something outside of school. That's fine. We do not discriminate. We're here for the youth and for the parents. We also do adult volunteer hours too. We will have to background check them, but we are more than welcome to do that.
Attendance makeup hours, maybe?
Hey, we'll see what we can do.
Put them to work.
We will. I will.
One thing that I want to add to everything that Jackie is saying, from an outside perspective looking in, I don't deal with curriculum. I'm kind of grateful I don't, 'cause it sounds like a lot. But from seeing the kids who are in Project Turnaround, it forms a sense of community within them. They recognize PD when we're out in the community, and they're able to form those friendships within their classrooms. So that's one thing from an outside perspective I love about Project Turnaround, is that they're able to really care for those kids.
And we really do try to be age appropriate. So you may have already said this, Jackie, at the beginning. But for our younger groups, we really focus on all of those topics that Jackie had mentioned. As we get to the older groups, especially high school, if it's appropriate for us to talk about some of those tougher subjects, then that lead to substance misuse, then we weave those into those same themes, but we do it in a very appropriate way, so.
And then to piggyback off that, sorry, if you notice anything, so I know vape is like the big thing right now, right? If you are having issue with a specific substance or concern of that sort, we're able to integrate that into our curriculum as well. A few years back, one of our schools at their littles were talking about, I guess there was like ADHD medicine that was getting flushed down the drain. So we were talking about, that's not proper disposal. And so we were talking about things like that. So if you see something that we can kind of weave into our curriculum, we can do that for you too.
And we work really closely with our CIS folks and counselors, so you'll know exactly what's going on with us. Yeah.
When y'all are saying tougher subjects, what kind of things do you cover?
So that could be
What,
anything.
what does that mean to y'all?
For us, that would be something like, things that might be happening at home. So, like, for an example, one of our schools, they were talking about fighting with their parents. And we're like, okay, well, with effective communication, this is kind of how we talk about that with healthy relationships as well. And so we're giving them the tools to use during that application. Now they have to apply it if they do, Sometimes we also talk about their anger. A lot of the kids, will say, well, if I accidentally side or shoulder check somebody, what would I do? Would I say sorry? And a lot of them are quick to violence. Well, we talk about, okay, you could be at, 16, at 17, in the state of Texas, you could be tried as an adult. Do you want to be caught with that? Do you want to be known as that? And so we kind of reverse the pressure on them a little bit, but we also talk about some real life consequences. Same with vaping, it could potentially be a felony. And some apartment complexes, they don't even care what it's for. They don't care that you got it whenever you're 16, 15, or 10, because that's the littlest that we've had in that vape class. If they see it, I'm not going to have somebody apply and potentially be approved if they're a felon. Then we talk about jobs, and we talk about potential relationships. If it's appropriate, I'm not going to talk about that with my 10-year-old, but I might talk about that at my high school levels. Talk about, some people, they background check whoever they're going to be dating. Do you want to be background checked and not go on a date because of something that's on your record? That's somebody's reality. So we talk about tougher subjects and bigger picture subjects. Thank you for listening to my spiel. I appreciate y'all.
Good work that you guys
I feel like it's grown so much since you came the last time.
It has. It definitely has. We now have 3 grants, and we love it. I love it.
It's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
It is neat to be in a school district. I really appreciate being in a school district and having a great relationship that spans years, because we have adults now who come up and say, I remember that, and I remember PD and the program, and I remember the subjects we talked about. And so, that's one of our goals, is to foster a really good working relationship with you if you're interested in these programs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope to be working with you too later.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we're just leaving extra papers on Project Turnaround, Project Hope here if the people who are
needed.
missing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then
Have a good evening.
y'all too, thank you so much. Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Have they been here before?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They presented this whole presentation.
So y'all already?
No, some of them, because it was 2 years ago.
No, yeah, I've never.
Okay.
This is like your
But
3
even
seasons.
she's saying, like, there's so much, they've grown so much and added so much,
Right.
and they present to us all the time. That's why we're like, we've really been pushing it to
I
come here.
love it. I think it's, sometimes hearing it from other people, kids are more responsive.
It was a fall fest, the first year, the fall fest. That's when they really came in.
game that nobody
Nobody came. That's
You
exactly
have
what
good memory.
So they have.
I know my husband hates that.
I think we need to look at the bylaws, because I don't know if there has to be a parent, have we had a parent presentation from
Well, just
this?
at that.
I was there.
So we had a fall fest.
I got the canvas bag.
3 years ago, we had a fall fest and they came out and did that, and that's, we got the MOU and everything
Do y'all
signed back
prefer that, or do
then.
y'all prefer?
So maybe what we can do is get with them
I think
and,
that.
I mean, they've already did the
forget
two
their
presentations and if they've already presented to parents.
I mean, we can do parents again, me and Denise and Crystal can set up something for them to come out.
More
I mean,
than
join her.
But for next year, this would be the time to plan for next year and get them approved through the board.
Saturday.
It was the Saturday and we only had 5 parents show up.
That was 3 years ago, that was before we had Denise.
Yeah, we might need to do it.
So I'll go through the other S.H.A.C notes, and then I'll bring everything up on the Coastal Bend Wellness, and then we'll,
And I can probably find your dates.
okay, and this is something that we can present next year at the beginning of the school year, or, for approval, because we have to seek approval. So I think it's this that we need to seek approval for, and the other ones with Christina,
The esteem and the,
Esteem. So those are the
esteem
two.
and
Choosing the
Because
best.
I know Christina's
choosing the
been here
best.
twice already.
Esteem and choosing the best.
Okay, because we did the whole.
Because I thought we had already,
We did 2 public hearings.
yeah, we've done 2 public hearings for something.
For the choosing the.
For choosing the best and
So the
esteem,
only thing
yeah.
we have to do is
Send it to the school
send it
board.
to the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the choosing the best, we actually already have an MOU signed.
Yep.
Like last year.
Okay, so we just have
And then we just need to
So
update
that would also
the
need to
dates.
go to the board
Yes.
as well.
Update the dates on the MOUs.
Right, because they did that, and then we had to have the 2 public hearings, and it was supposed to go to them after that. Those were the first 2 meetings we had. that
Yeah.
Got buried on the website.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to action item number 2. Again, the action item 2 is about the S.H.A.C assessment. And really, this is not required by the state, but this did come out of the handbook that's written by the state for the S.H.A.C committees. So basically, it's just, you know, an assessment over our organization in our district, the goals and activities. You know, are we meeting our goals? Are we following through with our activities? Are we accomplishing our goals? And then also the third section is S.H.A.C members, you know, what is their knowledge and awareness, even throughout the district, you know, what is the awareness and knowledge of what we do in this particular committee? And then also the support. What type of support do we provide in our district? And so basically, it's just, this is an assessment so we know where to go. It's kind of like our compass for next year. What are the areas that we need to work on? And so I know y'all said there is like our bylaws, so I'm thinking it's something that maybe we definitely need to update if it's been a while or it was here. So, right. So I think it would be a good, next year's like a, you know, we're gonna kind of clean the slate and start brand new, because I know there's some updates too as well. But yes, so if you can just take the time to go through your notebook, and it's called the S.H.A.C self-assessment, and just be honest, you know, be honest with the assessment, because this is really gonna give us some insight into what we need to do next year we would always want to get better. So definitely this is something that we want to do. And what we can do is once we complete the assessment, Ken and I can go through it, and then we will follow up with an update and share the information with you guys. Okay, so I'll give you guys some time to do that.